Okay, today we're continuing our decimal goal, and your learning target, you can calculate positive and negative decimals. Specifically, what you're going to be able to do today is multiply rationals, decimal rationals, not all rationals, because they all have different rules, but you're going to multiply decimals today. Yesterday we added and subtracted. We had to line up the decimal when we added and subtracted. Today, you're going to line up the digits. So I'm expecting you to know, when do you line up the digits, when do you line up the decimal. Then you're going to multiply as normal, so the first thing you're going to do is line the digits up. The second thing you're going to do is do normal multiplication. And some of you have different strategies for multiplying. Whatever works for you. And then here's where kids sometimes mess up, that third step. You need to count how many total spots to the right of the decimal and make it that many spots to the right of the product. You need to see an example. Okay, so line up the digits. The one with the most digits goes on top. You might want to write that down too. Most digits on top. Okay, so we'll line them up, we'll multiply as normal, and count how many spots to the right. Oh, and then there's this little fourth step. You need to determine if it's positive or negative. Determine sign. Forgot about that. I determine sign at the end. I just double check and say, is it positive or negative right at the end. When you multiply and divide, it's not who has more, if you recall. If they're the same sign, it's positive. If they're different, it's negative. So that's what you have to remember for that fourth step today. So you'll line up digits, do normal multiplication, determine where the decimal goes, and then determine the sign. So let's do it. Negative 9.03 times 1.2. Which one has more digits?
9.0.
Yeah, so I'm going to put 9.03 on top and 1.2 on the bottom. Notice I aligned my digits. And I'm just going to do a think aloud through my multiplication process. Some of you guys do a different strategy, and that's whatever works for you. I'm doing the old school strategy. So I multiply per place value. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 9 is 18. I'm done with the 2, so I put a 0 on that next line. And I move to the 1. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 9 is 9. Add them up. 6, 3, 8, 10. Notice you always want to add right to left because you need to regroup. Always. You add and subtract right to left. Right? Okay, now I need step 2. So I did step 1, I did step 2, I actually need step 3. I need to determine how many spots to the right. So notice that I had 1, 2, 3. You see? 3 spots, so I need 1, 2, 3. That's, and my now determined sign it will be negative. Negative 10.836. Okay, one more time, and then we're going to practice. 0.32 times 1.8. Same amount of digits, so it doesn't matter which one goes on top. It doesn't matter at all. So I'm just going to put 0.32 on top, 1.8 on the bottom. Okay, 8 times 2 is 16, carry the 1. 8 times 3, 24, plus 1, 25. Done with the 8, moving on to the 1. 1 times 2 is 2, 1 times 3 is 3. Then we add them, 6, 7, 5. So it's going to be 576, but I need to determine my decimal. How many spots to the right? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Decimal. And it's positive because they're the same sign. So let me just summarize what you're supposed to do. You line up your digits, do your normal multiplication, determine where the decimal goes, so count how many spots to the right, and then you determine your sign at the end.